Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Build and Breathe. My name is Nik and this is my co-host Cory. We are both entrepreneurs and professionals in two very different fields. On this podcast, we discuss hot fitness and health topics. More importantly, we take those things and try to make them a little bit more bite-sized, tangible, actionable things for our day-to-day lives. And in our second segment,
Touch Grass, we talk about our business wins and challenges and our fitness wins and challenges that we're going to be tackling throughout the week. And then sometimes we layer in our own life wins and challenges because we're human too. Yo, welcome back to another episode of Build and Breathe. I'm Cory. This is your other host, Nik. Today, the question we are asking everyone is, how do you become an athlete in your 30s? And I mean, we're mentioning 30s because we are in our 30s, so it's just very relevant. But I feel like this is a moment when people turn 30, they start turning their heads to like wanting to become athletic again, because I feel like my knees start to hurt, my back starts to hurt, my wrist starts to hurt. And so I feel like everyone...
why?
I think so. Well, like there's all those jokes of, like, people, pick up golfing, marathon, or have a kid, and somehow I did everything at once.
You pick your archetype kind of thing.
That's
You're
right.
right.
That's right.
That is a
exactly.
trope. Yeah.
But I'm trying to think, like, we've mentioned this in previous episodes before. We've mentioned in our own conversations as well. This idea of like bringing in athletic exercises or workouts or sports into like your weekly regime.
Yeah.
Because often I've honestly heard this from so many people where some people find like strength training kind of boring. And it's just like, there's slower movements. It's just, it's very monotonous. And it's not that exciting, but people, like, I know myself, I quite enjoy playing sports, more explosive movements and stuff like that, but I just don't bring it into my weekly regime as often as I used to when I was like 15 years old, right?
Yeah. I think a big draw as well as the competitiveness, and I think if you can't wrap your head around like competition with yourself, strength training doesn't work for you most times, right? Which is hard to do. It's hard to compete with yourself. So yeah, I mean, it's certainly easier to like set a time-based goal or to compete against other humans in general.
So what do you do to like, I know you're really into martial arts. You grew up doing Muay Thai, and then you instruct like, kickboxing and a bunch of other types of like classes and stuff like that over the years.
Yeah.
Like, how do you? I know that's probably maybe an easier way for you to get some of those athletic abilities in because you're often teaching them. But for those that don't teach, like someone like myself, like I don't teach any classes. Strength training is my main one. Like, how do we fit in? If you're working out 4 days a week, fitting in like a sport or some sort of exercise that's a bit more athletic, like swimming or like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
tennis or I don't know what, but something like that. You know what I mean?
I think you got to cover your bases, right? First, so a couple things. Manage your expectations of goals, right? So, for example, if you want to look like a bodybuilder, there's probably no way that you can be athletic as well, because the time it takes to look like a bodybuilder, it's 100% through strength training and hypertrophy training. So like you just won't have. If you think of like the old like RPG games, right? Like you have like special abilities and you can't max out on everything unless you have a cheat code. Like there's always some sort of con. I think we as humans sort of operate that way as well. So manage expectations. How do you want to look? And if it's size, then athleticism is going to have to go out the window. But if it's not, then you can have some playroom as far as like how many. So for example, like you can achieve a great physique with 3 days a week of strength training, right?
Yeah.
After that, it becomes a question of like little finesse details or getting leaner or things of that nature. You start getting more specialized. So let's say you have 3 days a week. You could maybe even get away with 2 days a week, like an upper and a lower body day, but I feel like it's easier to drop back to that once you've achieved the physique you like. So
Right.
if aesthetics is at all within your scope of goals, you need to focus on that first. Once you've achieved that with the amount of workload that you need for that, you can drop off a little bit So let's say you achieved a physique you wanted with 4 days a week. Well, now you can probably do 3 days a week to hold on to that, possibly even 2 days a week, and then fill those 1 to 2 days with some sort of athletic activity or sport or hobby that you want to do. I think the other thing that you kind of got to get into then is a little bit of injury prevention, Corey.
Okay, I was gonna ask about this. This was gonna be my next thing. I was like,
Yeah, things
often when
break.
people, well, things break, but often like people want to become more athletic because, and maybe worry less about like, size and bulk and of their muscles and more about like just longevity, and
Yeah.
health and being healthy. And so it's like often like the athletic exercises and movements and sports are more relatable to your day-to-day movements. And
It
so it's like, how do you,
depends. It
yeah,
depends
okay.
on what you're doing in your strength days, right? Like, for example, not to put in a plug, but like Equinox's whole look on fitness, including how their personal trainers are supposed to train, is to incorporate very flexible full body movements with a variety of equipment. Like, this is why kettlebells exist, as an example, right? Like, kettlebells allow you to do things that are more fluid in nature than you would typically do with a dumbbell. Dumbbells are typically designed for very linear movements. Kettlebells are designed for more swinging and momentum driven movements. And then there's other tools like a mace, which is the stick with the heavy ball, right? For example, which is like a ton of swinging movements and core movements, right? All of
Yeah.
that trains athleticism and resiliency in athletic movements. Um, yes, sports can lead to longevity. It can also lead to injury. I feel like a lot of people really, well, I'm not trying to take a dig on you, Corey.
Just so you all know, I got injured playing soccer, and that's why I'm
What I
laughing.
was gonna get to was that athletes are constantly in physical rehab because their whole career is play, get injured, rehab, play, get injured, rehab. And
Yep.
in that entire cycle, there is a strength training component to make sure that they mitigate as much injury as possible. So if the body is strong, it is less likely to get injured. Even so, injuries still occur. So it's a balance, right? Like, I feel like if you're not a professional athlete and you want to be athletic, you shouldn't be doing athlete things 5 days a week because you probably don't have the infrastructure to support that 5 days a week of sports. Unless you have a
Right.
physical therapist on speed dial, unless you have a strength coach as your regular routine, and unless you're getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep, right? Athletes sleep a ton. They have to. Like, all of this,
It's a
normal
full-time job for them.
people,
That's why they're
it
pros,
is.
right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So,
Yeah.
like, give yourself some grace with that. You can't
Yeah.
achieve that much. That said, there's a direct correlation between they say, what was it? There was a really cool sprinting stat where, like, I think it's like 85 to 90% of people will never sprint again after the age of 35, which is wild.
That
Yeah.
is bonkers. What?
It makes sense though. Like, how many times do you see somebody, like, see, let's say, imagine the bus is leaving and you see somebody about to miss the bus, right? And they're
Yeah.
older. They're
Yeah.
jogging at best and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No one's
You're right.
just hauling for it.
Like pure sprinting, eh? That's
Yeah.
crazy. Man, everyone should like just play soccer once a week at least, because like I know at least now once a week, at least a couple times during a game, I'm full out sprinting. But I don't know, maybe not. Maybe like I don't remember the last time I did like a full like on a track or something like that and just sent it. But I also feel like I something would hurt.
Well, you do have to warm up and stretch. Yeah. You would have that covered in soccer. There would be instances where you would have to do a
Yeah.
dash, so you're fine.
What was this
But
called? What
for
would you call
those
it? It
that
was
don't,
like a sprinting study. What'd you call it?
it was a sprint. Yeah, it was a sprint stat. It was like no,
I'm looking it up on
people
Gemini right now. That's why
past.
I was trying to like search
Yeah,
it up.
yeah. People
Let me
past the
see.
age of 35 won't sprint or something like that.
Age of 35 won't sprint. Is this true? Tell me, Gemini. Gemini disagrees.
Of
It's
course it
like, in
does.
fact, many people over 35 and well into their 60s and 70s sprint regularly. I'm like, okay.
I think it's no, I think it's taking it as a personal state, like an attack or a statement.
It is, yeah.
Say like majority of people. Do majority of people? When do people? At what age do people? Do majority of people quit sprinting?
Okay. At what age do majority of people stop sprinting?
Yeah, maybe that would lead it to a better.
This is our let's ask AI and see if we agree segment.
Yeah,
There's a viral statistic often cited in fitness circles claiming 95% of adults over the age of 30 will never sprint again for the rest of their
that's
lives.
the one. That's the one.
Uh, while the specific number is more of a motivational myth than a peer-reviewed fact, it points to a very real trend. For a vast majority of people, the age of 30-35 is the drop-off point for explosive movement. So there you
Right.
go.
That's
There
the
you
one.
go.
That's
There
the
you
one.
go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's fair. I mean, that's really fair. It's and to me that's still actually still kind of scary, whether there's real scientific truth to it or not. I do feel like within my not friend circle, but just like age group circle of people I interact are within the age of 30, like I do hear this very often. It's like, and even when I was getting to 30, I constantly heard people say like, "Oh, get ready, all this, all that," and I was actually like so determined to be like no, like screw you, like why am I gonna be like that? Um,
I
it's
don't
so
even
dumb.
think mine was a mental decision to not. It was just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think I've gotten even more balanced as I've gotten into 30
right.
in terms of like the explosive movements and stuff. Like I feel like I was almost less explosive in my mid 20s.
Yeah,
I think I was very explosive in early 20s, less explosive in mid 20s, and then more
yep,
explosive in late 20s, just on a need basis. And I don't know,
yeah,
your body responds. What I will say is that I think you should demand of your body to move in a functional manner. I
yes,
train so many people that are 40s and 50s, and they're
there you go.
resilient. They are
Yeah,
bodies are very resilient.
yeah,
Work your way up to it, but like there's an older guy. I think he's well in his 60s. And I've been training, he's been coming to classes for like the last year or something. And the amount that he's progressed is insane. Like where I'm honestly not worried about him doing a burpee anymore. Like he's just at it, you know?
heck
And
yeah.
yeah, you can see his muscle tones improved so much, his flexibility has improved so much, his coordination's improved so much. Like I'm like you're doing the thing, man. Like you are setting yourself up for like a good 70s and 80s sort of thing, you know. So yeah,
That's that's also where my head goes, when it's like trying to be more athletic in my 30s. It's just about like because not just in my 30s, but in my 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, like I want to be someone that can move
yeah,
and not be not be dependent on others or feel slowed down or whatever it might be. Like there's going to be the natural progression of slowing down, but if I can prevent that as much as possible and feel like I'm living an awesome life in my 70s, that's pretty freaking cool. So it's awesome because my fiance's dad,
mm,
he's like a 6'5", he's in his 60s, and he he's got like a very great physique. He's athletic. He just did his like over 60 fitness competition last year. He's doing like rowing competitions. He's just like doing a couple regattas. Like he's just doing a bunch and he's in his 60s. And people often ask him
yeah,
like, "How old are you?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm 60, whatever." And they're like, "What?" And they're like, "That's where I want to be." It's like when people
yeah,
look and they
yeah,
ask your age, and then they're like, "Whoa."
yeah, yeah, yeah. When you can hang tight to that like 40 looking profile,
Yep.
I think fitness pays the largest dividends the longer you go at it, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, But it's a combination, like you mentioned. He's a huge strength guy. He does strength training all the time, right? So he's
He
got
does.
that great balance of he's got the strength training to make sure that his bone density is there, that he's
That's right.
physically strong and capable, his body's resilience, and then he does the athletic stuff where his body doesn't break during the athletic stuff, right? Versus
That's
like the
exactly it.
person, I hate to again put tropes into it, but like the person that says like I'm going to do a marathon this year and they have not done anything with their bodies for the past year, that's going to go poorly for you. You are going to hurt yourself,
You are.
or
Yeah.
walk it.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
I feel like even
Absolutely.
walking it though, if you haven't been physically active and you walk a marathon, you're gonna break something.
Dude, absolutely. You're not used to be on your feet that long, going that distance. Like, walking 42 kilometers is no easy feat. And so, I think like I agree. If you're gonna make a goal like that, don't make that goal and then like assume that doing nothing you're gonna be able to do it just because you want to do it. Um, I've ran a marathon, I've ran half marathons, and I spent months training on top of strength training and running at the same time, and I still felt sore after those. Like I never got
Yeah,
injured, but
yeah, yeah.
I definitely felt sore. But if I
Exactly.
didn't do anything, if I didn't strength train, if I didn't like do my running practice, like it would have gone very, very poorly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a strong anecdote, right? Like even with the base that you have, the same I experience the same thing. Even with the base that I have, when I do an activity, and especially a new activity, there's a large amount of soreness that comes with that, right? And I feel like I'm 60% prepared for it. So I can only imagine what the body feels like if you went from zero to, let's say, somebody's friend that we have or something that just plays video games or something like that in their 30s or 40s decides to play a soccer game. Oh my God. If they come out without injury, the next day they're going to feel like, I don't know, the Pharaoh reincarnate, like just coming out of the.
It's true.
Soon.
It's
Yeah.
true, man. And I'll make one more kind of comments on this as well, like kind of bring it back to the marathon thing or just anything really in general. Just because you prepared and did it once doesn't mean you can just literally pick up and do it again if you haven't continued to do the work. Like, if you asked me to do a marathon tomorrow, I know I could do it because I've done it before. So there's a mental acceptance of that.
Mm,
But I physically would still probably, I might
want
actually
to
hurt
prepare.
myself. No, I hurt myself if I did it tomorrow. And so, yes, I would want to prepare.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
just because you did it once doesn't mean you're necessarily like prepared to do it again months later if you just stopped doing like the training for it, essentially.
Do you think people have that though? Because I feel like when you do it once, you have the self-awareness that things broke last time or something.
What question are you asking here? What do you mean?
I would argue that once you've done it already, you're not going to be as dumb the second time.
Oh,
But you're
for
wanting
sure.
people to not
But
be dumb the second time.
no, because I've also seen people. It's like, oh, I've done it before, and like they don't train for a while. Like they don't go do their runs. They don't do practice or anything like that. And then they're like, oh, because I've done it before, I know what to expect.
Mm,
Um, so what I'm trying to say is basically what you're alluding to is like you've done it before. You're smart enough now to know what it requires to prepare for it, right? So make sure you
mm.
do. That's basically all I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
say
yeah.
is make
Please
sure you do.
execute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please do the thing you need to do to go do it. Don't just assume you achieved it once and therefore you can achieve it again without the same preparation.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, so that's basically it. So yeah, so anyways, back to our question of like how do you become an athlete in your 30s? I mean, a couple main things I think we talked about. One is like you need that strength training base still. We've mentioned this like several times, but you need that because you need the infrastructure. Like anything, you need the foundations to keep your body healthy so it can be prepared
Resilient.
for Yeah,
Yeah.
resilient, exactly. And then, layer in some of the things. Like, I think like soccer is a great sport to play that's easy to pick up for a lot of people. It lets you sprint, lets you run. It's good hand-eye foot and coordination all around. So it's like it's a great simple one. But whatever you end up doing, whether it's like kickboxing, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, whether it is, running or some other like sport like tennis or pickleball, add it in. And then like I actually would encourage people to like make a competitive goal for yourself out of it. Like there's a lot of like
Yeah.
leagues and
Yeah.
tournaments and like competitions for like when you're in your 30s and 40s and whatever sport you're doing. Like I see it with hockey, I see it with soccer. Um, have those competitive goals. But know that like you're never going to be a pro athlete unless you make it your full-time job. um,
Yeah.
but you can be
I
athletic and healthy in your 30s.
I would be cautious with martial arts goals as someone that has fought before. I would not
Yep.
necessarily run in your 40s and say I want to fight. You can, but understand that you're going into combat. It's a little bit of a different thing than, you know, soccer. It just is by nature of it. And I play, so I'm not trying to talk down on soccer. I'm just it's a different ball game.
Yeah, one's getting, punched in the face or in the body, and
Yeah.
the other is like kicking a ball. So
I would
different.
say whatever you choose, also ease into it. Don't go full force into it. Allow your body time to adapt. Allow your body time to build up resiliency in whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, everybody, we're into our second segment, Touch Grass. Cory and I are going to reflect on our business wins, our health wins, and some of the challenges that we've come into contact with over this past week. I guess I'll start it off.
Please.
I had a pretty intense week where I had to switch my entire team of representatives within the film side. That is a very emotional journey. What that looks like is the equivalent of firing everybody in your company and then rehiring everybody in your company. New systems, new
Oof.
communication needs to be established, all of that on top of the emotional baggage of like breaking up with somebody that you've had a kind of an intimate relationship with. Like, it's a very intimate business in the sense of like they know everything that you're comfortable with and everything you're uncomfortable with, and you've gone through so many rejections together and like negotiations together and stuff like that. So
Wow.
that was crazy and exhausting, but
Necessary? Like it was intentional by you
necessary.
to do all this? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all executed by me, so it was totally from my will, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then the new team has been working double time. So I fired the last person I needed to fire at 11:15 a.m. and by noon I was getting auditions from my new team. Go
Wow.
go go. So I had a 45. My emotional roller coaster was like I just had to let someone go. You know, I'm sure you had to let somebody go before at the stage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
You probably know what that feels like. I don't know how long they worked for you. I don't know how much, but this is like a 4-year relationship.
No, this was
So
not the same. Like mine was like they worked for a few months, and so not the same.
got it. Got it. So this is
Yeah.
like 4 years of emotional baggage, and then I had 45 minutes to get over it and then
Wow.
carry on with my day.
And the next
So it was
lady
an
was already knocking
emotionally,
at the door, eh?
yeah, yeah. And then that was
Jesus.
that day was a 14-hour day. It was from 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. including all the things I had to do. So I was just a train wreck. So Friday came along. I woke up at like 6 a.m. to start Friday,
Yep. Yep.
and I just couldn't wait to get through like the scheduled stuff. And then
Yeah.
late last night, I was just studying up on some financial market stuff, and it just my brain was like zombified. And then that bled into my sleep today, this morning. I what was I? I was like trying to fix things underwater, is what a lot of the dream made no sense. But
Oh, you're talking about a
but
dream.
I
I
was
was like,
like,
sorry, what? I'm not picking up
yeah,
what
yeah,
you're putting
yeah.
down right now.
I was holding my breath and I had to fix things underwater, and like things continued to go underwater.
Joy.
Uh, yeah, it was a very intense dream. Anyway, that was my week. How was your week?
week was good. I'll start with some of my fitness stuff because I think we were kind of laughing about it in the last
Sure.
segment a little bit. But I've been dealing with the wrist injury for about a month now, and it's it's coming to a head a little bit in the sense that like it actually stopped me this week from doing my push movements and even some of my like my pull flexed pull movements on my wrist like were feeling a little bit uneasy. Um so yeah, this past week was tough in that sense. Is where I felt like I was failing, at my fitness, and then I wasn't tracking my nutrition, but I was mentally trying to just like keep eating proportional meals. I figure if I have proportional meals, I will. That's similar to what I've been eating in the previous weeks in my cut. I'm like I should be in the ballpark of where I am.
And it
Um,
worked.
it worked. I stayed in the same weight week over week,
Yeah.
which to me is like, if I didn't gain weight, fantastic. Ideally, I would have lost, but you know, yeah.
That's a win though, because you reduced your output like half of your workouts you couldn't do. So that's a
True, I
huge
guess,
win.
and I stayed the weight, so the net result is yeah, technically, I
Yeah.
guess that is a win. Yeah, just more of like the challenge of like not being able to do it and dealing with injury is always a frustrating thing. Um,
But the lesson there is like you have an injury, we have to figure out a way to work around it. So like we,
yep,
figured out what your limitations are, and then we still kept your 4 days. They're not as intense. There's some things that had to be cut. But
yep,
other days are like your leg day and your pull day are probably going to be maybe 90% as intense, maybe 100% as intense. It's just
exactly.
the other 2 days that are going to have to take a little haircut, but it's okay.
Exactly. So it's just adjustments. This way it is. But I'm gonna go get myself some physiotherapy. Probably go also see if I can get myself like an MRI if it's quick enough, just to see if there's anything weird in there to remove the idea of like any hairline fractures or
Yeah.
um, any major like ligament strains or tears that I'm just like unaware of because like there's so many little bones in your wrist.
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
just
Wrists and
there's
ankles and feet, the
they were
worst.
the trickiest places to deal with, right? So we're making our adjustments, and that'll be fine. It'll be good.
Nice.
So yeah, that was like the kind of the fitness, the challenges, and I guess like sort of a wins, I guess in that sense. And
It's a half
then
win. Yeah.
half win, and then yeah, I think overall, like my week was like it was just a little bit crazy, honestly. It was just one of those weeks where now I'm talking more like in business. It's like I constantly felt like I was like behind or missing something or just like couldn't catch up. Like that feeling of every day of like I felt like every day was busy but I wasn't doing enough. That was the feeling I
Yeah.
had this week. Um
Right.
and I often can't pinpoint like what it is. Like I sometimes get into these like slumps of just feeling like that.
Yeah.
And usually I have to like usually it's by the weekend. I take a step back and plan and prepare and being like, all right, this is why it's called touch grass, right? It's like
Yeah,
grounding
totally. Yeah,
myself
yeah.
back down to like to reality where it's like, okay,
Reality.
you did a lot. You didn't you might have missed some things, but it doesn't mean that they need to be completed in the week and all that sort of jazz. So um
Yeah.
but yeah, I think
Do you
it's like,
ever
sorry, go ahead.
do you ever write that stuff out?
Uh Not really. I don't really write stuff out. I'm more of no, I don't normally write this stuff out. I used to historically like speak it out in like voice notes and stuff like that, but I don't often write stuff down anymore like as a reflection piece.
Not as a reflection piece, but like because I find reflection pieces are sometimes a little bit hard to get your head wrapped around because it's additional time, it's emotional investment. Like I find like a quick hack is to write down your completed tasks from like write down a to-do list as if you did not do them
I see.
quickly, and then cross it out.
Hmm.
Just like physically, that physical cross out does something in your brain to say like I did that. I did what I do is I sign off on it. So
Cool.
I initial on every task that I did and completed. And there's something psychologically personal about that. It
Yeah.
elevates my mood, right? It eliminates that feeling of having not done enough. Not completely, but it certainly helps. It's therapeutic in nature.
Yeah, I do like that. I do often what I have done now, like my days have been opening up a little bit from like my internal calls, and so getting back to like filling my time with stuff initially felt very very chaotic because I was bouncing around between like a bunch of tasks of things I needed to get done, and then like on like Tuesday I was like, okay, shit, Cory, you stop. I was like, write everything you want to do today. Like realistically, like the top four things you want to do today. And then I just like I put that into like my Slack, and then I was like, okay, I start with one, shut everything else off, and then just did that, crossed out. And then again, that same motion of like just do it, cross out, do it, cross out. But like I often can get like scatterbrain where I want to do everything, help everyone, like all this sort of stuff. But just focusing and blocking out, like I'll call them distractions, right? Just blocking out the distractions was kind of what got me through the week, I guess.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I get it.
yeah, yeah.
We
So
have
yeah.
so much we have so much noise like everywhere. We have so much noise within the workplace as well because we're reachable through like 15 different channels. Like I use do not disturb so much now.
Oh,
Just
dude, so do I.
to
Yeah.
silence all notifications. Like just leave me the hell alone.
And even
Kind
in
of
the
thing.
mornings too, because like as you know this, like being on the West Coast, like if you have any East Coast, people like early in the morning, you're getting messages and everything like
Yeah,
that. People are
6.
knocking
Yeah,
at your door, right? Like,
5
and
even.
so yeah, and so in the mornings though, like I'm doing things for me at the time, right? So I'm waking up, taking my dog for a walk, going to work out, like eating breakfast, and so I've like now put on Do Not Disturb until like
During those times. Yeah.
yeah, during those times till probably about like 8 a.m. and then I'll
Yeah.
address those things. But like, yeah, like I use it so often now, like whenever I need to just, and during the day now too, when I need to focus, like, yeah, because people can reach me like, through call, text, Slack, email, and I'm like, fuck it, just leave me alone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. There's
Yeah.
nothing. I think it's the worst way to start your day. Honestly, looking at your phone the first thing in the morning is probably the worst way to start your day. And like we all do it. We all do it. And we
Yep.
can all be better at not doing that. But
Yeah.
what's even worse is when you check your phone and there's immediate stress of something having to be done right then and there, right? Like someone messages you at their 8 a.m., your 5 a.m., saying, "Hey, I'm stuck on this," or like, "I need this done," or "I'm late to submit this." At 5 a.m., your
Yep.
brain is already starting in crisis mode.
Yeah, no, not it's not ideal. It literally happened to be this morning. Like we had a one of our products launching for it's a tournament app, and the tournament was this weekend. And like our team was on call this morning to support if anything like that. And I'm just seeing emails come in like so early about like this thing and not functional here, not functional there. And I'm like, oh my God. Like it's just like my day's just started. Can we not? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right? So
yeah,
it's a shitty way to start your day, right? Um
yeah.
so anyways, so that's the week has been fine, just a little chaotic in that sense, but I will quickly share I guess a couple wins. So funny enough, I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but like a few weeks ago, my team got asked to join an AI hackathon for this company here, Martel Ventures. And we're a partner company with them, and they basically shut down their business for 2 days and just taught everyone how to code, but through a hackathon methodology, right? Which is like basically like brute force learning on your own. And we were there as the people in the room to like, teach people like actually how to use these tools and architect solutions and all that sort of stuff. We got a lot of good feedback from it, and a lot of them shared our names and Instagrams and everything like that with them. And I've had several businesses over the last few weeks like reach out and they want us to run the same AI hackathon for them and their
Cool.
businesses. Yeah. So it's just something that kind of popped out of nowhere. It's the beautiful, most beautiful thing is like when people are asking you for it, then you
Yeah,
can
of
deliver on
course.
it. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I had a few sales calls. I closed one, semi closed the second one, bam fammed another one, and yeah, felt pretty good. So I'm like, there's something here, and these guys are like, a lot of heavy hitters and stuff. So yeah.
That's an event product now.
It's yeah. I'm calling it, like, for the sake of the business, it's AI training. That's our the
Yeah.
revenue stream, the way I'm calling it. But yes, it is like at its core, it is event coordination.
Hmm.
And but like often, truthfully, really simple. Like, it's up to them to find a venue if they don't have an
Yeah.
office. It's up to them to
Yeah.
fly their employees out if they want to. But
You just show up as a
we,
speaker, essentially,
yeah,
with a
we just need
curriculum.
to give them like the sandbox in which they're going to play in, essentially, right?
Yeah.
That's
Right.
basically it. We're like, these are the rules. We're going to be ahead of time. These are the tools you need to know. In the morning of the first day, we'll teach you some simple stuff, and then the
Yeah.
rest of the time you're building. And it's
Yeah.
up to you to build and learn and struggle, and you can ask us
Right.
questions and all this stuff. And then yeah, at the end, you need to demo what you built, and then the owner of the company needs to provide a reward for the winner of the best product. That's basically it. But yeah, so it's like a little bit more than what we did with Martel Ventures, because they had a couple of their own guys organizing the event. So it's like up to us now to help actually create the organization of it.
Yeah.
But we already saw what was done once, and I have all the materials, so it's kind of
Yeah. That's exciting. Copy paste.
yeah, a little bit easy. So yeah, so we have one that we're gonna be doing here in Kelowna, and then another one in California probably. So I don't know where these guys are in California actually. I need to double check, but one in California, and then another one in Kelowna here. Yeah,
Nice.
it's and honestly, this is one of the funner things for our team
Yeah.
to be out
It's
and
great.
go share. They don't often get to share their knowledge with people.
Yeah. It's a
And
socializing thing too.
it is, yeah, and like yeah, we have a few here in Kelowna, but if I get a chance to go fly some of our team out to California or whatever it might be, it's like kind of fun to go out for a couple days and see a new city, meeting some new people.
Of course, man. Let me
And
know about California. I can maybe shoot up to you.
dude, absolutely, yeah, I gotta check with their company's called Surefire CPR, and I forget where this guy's based, but I'll take a look.
Let's
But
look it
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Surefire CPR.
They have like 90 plus locations though, so but he's
Oh,
based
okay.
out of California.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, they're like
Okay.
across the country. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
anyways.
wherever he gets it could be San Diego.
Yeah, it could be.
We'll see.
I forget where.
Keep me posted.
But yeah, I'll let you know. But yeah, so those were the kind of the wins of the week. Is just like kind of new revenue stream that kind of came out of nowhere, and I actually think it will be a pretty big flywheel for like the business as well, because like it cements our thought leadership and expertise in the space. A lot of these
Absolutely.
engagements could lead to true client engagements.
Absolutely.
And these guys refer potentially us to another business that they know that might benefit from this type of. That's basically how I got these 3 qualified leads
Yeah.
out of it, right? So,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna keep pushing down this pipe. I'm happy to make
It's
this
rolling.
my sales engine. So yeah,
I was gonna say, what a great funnel. What a fantastic funnel.
yep.
It's
like,
organic. It's fun. It's all the right stuff.
and it was like I made a LinkedIn post about this. It was like it was very odd at first, because like usually people are asking us to help them build. Now they're asking us to teach them how to build. Which is a really interesting switch. Like normally, as the business that helps people build, you maybe wouldn't want to be the one teaching them how to build, but we're in that era now
Yeah.
of like where
Yeah.
people are capable of doing so. So why not just teach them how to do it right? Yeah.
Yeah. You've heard that. I've heard that anecdote many times where I've heard that anecdote many times where you show your expertise, you show what makes the secret recipe, and people will ask you to make the secret recipe still.
Yep. Fair.
You know,
Yeah.
but you're afraid of giving up your secret recipe. It's a funny thing in this day and age.
It feels counterintuitive sometimes because you're giving something up, but like sometimes it's fine because they're not going to necessarily replicate it nor want to be the ones responsible for it all the time, right? That's what we're going to be noticing, is that like they'll want to learn how to build. They might build all these things, but they might not want to be the ones that manage it afterwards.
Yeah, I think it comes to a comfort level of knowledge. Like it's like, oh, cool. Now I know how it's built. Like I get what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Please do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, totally. That's exactly it. But even still, like often teaching them and giving them the skills to actually go build these solutions. I've told the last 3 businesses, I'm like, you turn your employees from like problem identifiers to solution builders. And this, even if you end up working with us afterwards, it's actually really useful for us if they go build like the thing that's solving their problem. I'm like, cool, I know exactly what you're trying to get across. I know the outcome you're trying to achieve. Now let me make it right.
Yeah. It speeds up the initial 30% of your model, basically.
It does, because on the flip side of it, I've gone to a couple businesses recently here in Kelowna to kind of help look through their business and see where there's opportunities for AI and for agents and stuff like that. And it is tough just talking to people and asking them about their job and trying to figure out like what a good solution would be. I actually really do like the hackathon idea where it's just like, just get them to attempt to build something because they're closest to the pain. So, let them try to build a solution around it. And then you can take a step back and you're like, cool, there's 10 solutions that this business just built. Which ones are overlapping? Which ones have some more outcomes? Like, it's just a little bit easier. It's like they do the discovery for you.
Yeah.
So anyways, I really like it.
Makes
it's a really
sense.
Cool idea. And
cool.
So we're going to explore it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, man. And
shall we wrap?
Maybe we should wrap. Did you want to share any like final kind of wins for you?
That was the huge win. The restructuring. I saw immediate, within 45 minutes, a change in terms of effects, and I saw internal communications improve like that. It was just a better pairing of professionals. Like I've never seen a cause and effect that quick in this business. Yeah, that was incredible. So probably more of the same, but good positive signals early on.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Build and Breathe. If you'd like to reach out to myself or Nik, our socials will be in the description below, but please like, subscribe, and share this with anyone you think would enjoy the episode as well too. Otherwise, we will see you next week in another episode of Build and Breathe.